from Ozarks First. You're watching KOLR10 News at 9 on C.
These beautiful people, angels, I don't know who they were. They pulled me up. And when they pulled me up from the boat, I didn't see any of my family. But I believe I survived by God and by Good Samaritan.
You may remember Tia Coleman, who spoke to KOLR10 yesterday about losing 9 of her family members when a Branson Ride the Ducks boat sank during a storm. We'll have more on her update in just a few minutes. Good evening, I'm Heather Lewis. Jennifer Abreu is off tonight. Tonight, we continue our extensive coverage of this tragedy, which claimed 17 lives on Thursday. The National Transportation Safety Board held a press conference today updating what it's found so far within that sunken boat. Our Jesse Inman joins us now after attending that meeting today. Jesse, what is the latest?
Well, Heather, the NTSB says their teams have obtained some crucial information related to their investigation on safety regarding the sunken Ride the Ducks boat. On Saturday, Earl Wayner, a board member with NTSB, says they recovered a crucial item in their search, a black box with video from the camera on board the sunken Ride the Ducks boat.
That is on its way to Washington, D.C., even as we speak, to be processed in the NTSB labs there, dried out, and as soon as it's available in reasonable condition, we'll read that out, analyze what the contents show us.
The NTSB's investigation is centered around safety, and a big part of their job is finding out how weather information was relayed. Ride the Ducks uses a weather subscription service.
That information was available in the offices from what we understand. We want to understand how that information was passed on to people who made the decisions to go out at that time.
Attorney General Josh Hawley attended the conference and explained the 2 separate investigations taking place.
There are 2 investigations going on. There's the NTSB's investigation into safety procedures, and then there's the state investigation, the Highway Patrol's investigation into the circumstances of this situation. It's technically a criminal investigation because they need to determine, was there criminal negligence, what exactly went on.
The Highway Patrol has already released its findings that the cause of the accident was due to high winds. While the NTSB has not ruled on a cause, they say winds reached 73 miles per hour.
Put that in context, hurricane force winds are usually considered starting at 75.
Scott Stormer with the Coast Guard says they are working with Ride the Ducks on a plan to get the boat out of the water, where it currently sits 80 feet under the surface.
We expect and are putting together the resources to effect that salvage. We're hopeful that will happen in the early part of next week.
Now, NTSB has also obtained records on inspections, certifications, maintenance, and incident histories on that sunken duck boat. When asked about life jackets being on the boat, the Coast Guard added that they are looking to see if Ride the Ducks followed their requirements for their operations, and that the Coast Guard expects commercial mariners to make the best operational decisions they can based on the conditions that they expect to experience. Now, Attorney General Josh Hawley is now asking the public to reach out to authorities if you have footage of Thursday's boating incident.
If you have a video that you have not yet shared with the Missouri State Highway Patrol, we strongly encourage you to do that. That would be a tremendous help to patrol officers as they conduct their investigation.
Reporting on that for us tonight. Thank you. KOLR10 now knows the names of the 17 victims who lost their lives on Thursday and where they are from. 5 are from Missouri, including the driver of the boat. 1 is from Illinois, 2 victims are from Arkansas, and 9 are from Indiana. The Stone County Sheriff's Office provided that list of names last night. To see those names, visit ozarksfirst.com. The 9 victims from Indiana were all part of Tia Coleman's family. She and her nephew were the only 2 to survive. Tia Coleman's sister, Lita Bigby, who wasn't on the boat, started a press conference today by thanking the community for their concerns about Tia. Our Frances Lynn was at Cox Health Hospital in Branson for that news conference as Tia talked more about her horrifying experience.
Tia Coleman says she's unsure if she will be able to recover from this accident.
I've never had to recover from something like this. I don't know if it is I don't know if there is a recovery from it.
Doctors are optimistic about her having a full physical recovery, but Coleman isn't looking forward to going home just yet.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. Since I've had a home, it's always been filled. It's always been filled with little feet and laughter. And my husband, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just know that I'll continue to need the support.
She thinks life jackets could have made a difference.
If I was able to get a life jacket, I could have saved my babies, because they could have at least floated up to the top and somebody could have grabbed them. And I wasn't able to do that.
Coleman also talked about her family.
To remember my babies. My oldest son was Reese, who was on the autism spectrum, but he made every day worth living and knowing. And he was the happiest, sweetest little boy anybody would ever want to meet. I love, everybody remember my Evan, who was 7, who was extremely smart and quick and witty. He loved life. And he was a great brother, a big brother and a little brother. And then my baby Aria, she was only 1, and she had 1,000 personalities wrapped up in her one. She would blow kisses and she would fight. She was a little fireball and my only girl.
She also said Ride the Ducks knew a storm was coming in.
Before we left out, they just said, it's a storm coming, so go to the water first so you can avoid it.
In Branson, Francis Lynn, Color 10 News, Ozarks First.
Tia's family has started a GoFundMe page at Only Official Duck Boat Survivors. All the funds raised there will support Tia and her family, as well as fund funeral expenses. It's already raised almost $200,000. You can find that and a link to our Color 10 podcast with the raw interview of Tia's news conference from today. It's all on our homepage at ozarksfirst.com. Color 10 knows Tia is a paralegal in Indiana for the Marion County Prosecutor's Office in Indianapolis. Her co-workers released this statement. We are devastated by the unimaginable loss suffered by our friend and colleague, Tia Coleman. The thoughts and prayers of our entire Marion County Prosecutor's Office family are with Tia, her extended family and friends, and the other survivors of this tragic incident. As you can see, this tragedy has made a significant impact on everyone around the Ozarks and even beyond. So College of the Ozarks has partnered with the city of Branson to host an Ozark Mountain Community Memorial Service tomorrow afternoon. It'll take place at 3 o'clock in Williams Memorial Chapel on campus. Leaders of the community will speak, and there will be time for prayer and encouragement. The public is invited to arrive early just for ample parking. After the break, we continue our coverage with a sugary sweet way to memorialize. A story that is positively Ozarks now. Hertz Donut in Branson is making special tribute donuts to help raise funds for victims of the Table Rock Lake boat sinking.
I'm at Hertz Donuts getting some of the tribute donuts and made a donation and just want to do whatever we can to support the families.
Until midnight tonight, you can purchase one of these donuts for $3, and 100% of the proceeds will be donated to support survivors and families of the victims. Hertz Donut says it felt it needed to do something to help, and the owners knew the Branson community would step up.
I've been on the Ducks, and for something like that to happen in what I consider my hometown is really emotional and it's heartbreaking.
We're doing this so that we can show that we can't give back what these families have lost, but we can do the best we can to help with what we have.
Although sales of the tribute donuts end at midnight, Hertz Donut will be accepting cash donations all week. Well, turning to weather, taking a live look outside, meteorologist Beth Finello is next to tell you about a confirmed tornado that touched down in the Ozarks yesterday.
Around 4:30 yesterday morning, an EF0 tornado touched down just 7.5 miles northwest of Camdenton, Missouri. The path was about 1/10 of a mile long. It was only on the ground for about a minute. This storm system that came through that did produce this tornado, a lot of the area northwest of Camdenton saw large trees down, power lines down, and had a lot of wind damage mainly associated with this. But in terms of your work week, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s and less humid, so very comfortable for at least the month of July.
That makes a big difference, just the less humidity.
Absolutely.
All right, Beth, thank you. Well, after the break, the latest Ozarks Tonight with Dr. Brian Calfano. He sits down with the Democratic candidate for presiding commissioner of Greene County.
Well, good evening. I'm Brian Calfano, and joined tonight by Sarah Lampe, who many of you may know from her years in the State House of Representatives. But the reason you're in tonight is because you're running for the Democratic nomination for Greene County Presiding Commissioner. So tell us a little bit about how you came to this decision to make this race.
Well, you know, Dr. Calfano, I watched your interview with the senator, and I have to agree with him. There are really great things happening in Greene County.
Now, you're talking about Bob Dixon, of course.
But I will tell you, I disagree with him on who the best person is to lead the county. Here.
Representative Sarah Lampe, who's also a Democratic candidate for the nomination for presiding commissioner for that race in the fall. We appreciate your time tonight.
My pleasure.
Back to you.
All right, Brian, thank you. A massive fire breaks out in downtown Hollister at the Mule Barn. We have video right after this break. The Western Taney County Fire Protection District is still on the scene of this fire. It's happening at the Mule Barn in downtown Hollister. They confirmed this on their Facebook page, saying it started at 6 o'clock tonight and it's now been reduced to just smoke. It is uncertain if anyone was at that business when the fire broke out. Business 65 is shut down at Birch Street and St. James Avenue, so just be careful in your travels if you're in that area. The railroad is also closed in that area. The cause is yet to be determined. So we will be following up on that for you. And a quick check of our weather, too.
Yeah, so today was nice. It was less humid, felt comfortable. It was still hot, though, don't get me wrong, and it is July. That's how it's going to be tomorrow as well. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s to lower 90s across much of the area. It'll be less humid. It'll still be hot, lots of sunshine. That's how it's going to be through the beginning of the work week. Temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s, less humid conditions, sunny conditions, and then that chance of storms comes back Friday and Saturday, and we do still need that rain. We are still seeing a lot of drought conditions across much of the Ozarks as well.
Yeah, we could still use the rain in the middle of summer and those lows in the 60s. We can afford that.
Yeah.
I'd like that as well. All right, Beth, thank you, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you again in 30 minutes on KOLR 10 for KOLR 10 News at 10.